So, Lords of the Fallen is out, and Pieta, she of the Blessed Renewal, the second boss, is giving you some troubles. Well, let me try and help you avoid this right here. What's up, friends? This is Manni, and welcome to this boss guide for Pieta, she of the Blessed Renewal, the second boss in Lords of the Fallen. A few things you need to know in order to make this fight easier. Now, first one, you'll see she often swings horizontally from one side to the other. Make sure to dodge into the swing and not with the swing, because that will often make you get hit at the end of the swing because your dodge animation may not take long enough, or the invincibility frames of it. Alright, so try and dodge through the sword, into the sword, rather than with it. The next thing is when she lifts her sword up like this, she's going to perform an instant ranged attack. So a second later after the animation begins, you need to dash or dodge out of it. Another tip is always use this charged heavy attacks when you're near her and you dodge an attack, because that will often get her staggered, which allows you to deal an insane amount of damage to her, like I did right here. At around 60% of her health, she's going to enter the second phase, like right now. And in the beginning, she will only use the middle lane. That's what you need to imagine. There are 3 lanes now in second phase, and that attack comes in the center, and you need to stay away from the flight and also the landing swords afterwards. And then she's gonna cast clones of herself that will randomly select 2 of those 3 lanes, and you need to make sure to observe which lane is free to occupy this one to avoid the fate that I suffered in the intro of this video, okay? Sometimes she's gonna do this ranged attack with these hammering swords coming towards you. Just be aware to dodge away from those when that happens. And then this is the one where you need to observe where the clones go. See, the clones are on the outer edges, and I can stay in the center lane and fight her here relatively safely as long as I dodge her attacks well enough. While trying to do charged attacks behind her, it's very important to know that sometimes she's gonna stomp into the ground like this, and it will cause an area effect that extends even behind her. Be aware of that, because that does a lot of damage. Now, very important to know is that sometimes she will swing with the sword to the ground, and if she stays with the sword on the ground, you're free to attack. But if she takes back out to pull in another attack, this is when you need to go away, because she's gonna do that area effect. You'll see it in a second. That was the one where she didn't do it, and the next one, she's gonna land with a sword to the ground and then go in for another swing. That's when you have to dodge away, and after that, you can freely attack with a charged attack. See that? She's gonna go in for another one, I dodge away, and now you can charge attack from behind, get her staggered, and get a really nice finishing blow in there that deals a lot of damage to her. And from that point on, she shouldn't really have too much HP anymore. Of course, she's gonna do this again. This time, the middle and the right lane are occupied by the clones, so I go to the left lane instead, and I just hit her a few more times. You can also try and range attack her, but if your primary attack requires, or is a sword, it typically works the best, because her attacks are not that hard to dodge. Yeah, and then basically she is defeated right here. And there's a nice cutscene where you enter the cathedral, but suddenly something happens in the distance. And when this happened, I was like, wait a minute, don't tell me there's a phase 3, okay? I don't have any more healing items. By the way, a video telling you how to upgrade your healing items, or flasks, by the way, right, is coming up next, so stay tuned for that. I also show you how you can get yourself a healing spell and what you need for it, and what level requirements are also needed for it. Now, by the way, this blood here is rendered a little poorly for the Unreal Engine. I would say they can do better. That looked a little weird, but yeah. Just remain calm, ladies and gentlemen. You have beaten Pieta at this point. There is no third phase. This is basically her rebirth after we've taken her down, and you're gonna see her again, because she is going to be the one that allows you to upgrade your healing flasks later. Alright, so she's now gonna step towards the edge and just jump off. Like the angel that she looks like she is. And if you had a weird feeling why you had to fight her, because she seemed like the good guy, well, that will be also explained in the conversation with her afterwards, because she's gonna say she didn't really want to fight you there. Also, make sure after the fight to soul flay her, because you'll get her remembrance, together with some more story elements, and also these what are they called? Vigor scourings or something, right? And yeah, so that was it. That was the video. One of the little quick guides, and there will be more to come. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and catch you in the next video, ladies and gentlemen.